Google Sheets is kind of an underrepresented tool inside of the Google Suite. And one of the things that I've used it for over the past several years is to help me manage data. So I want to go back into this RSA needs assessment we did, and I want to show you how you can use Google Sheets to take and really start to work with data. Because some of the times, we have all of this data, 366 entries in this form, and now I'm like, okay, now how do I make sense of it? And so I want to show you how I use something called add-ons inside of Google Forms to really change the power and the data into something I can see. So add-ons are just like add-ons in other different tools. So if I click on add-ons here, you notice I have a couple of these installed. I'm going to just go and we're going to find another add-on here. I'm looking for a particular add-on. So, and again, just like everything else, you notice that we have several different add-ons that we can find in here. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of clicking and checking out to see what each one of these does. I'm going to go to roll call. Just type in roll, and we're going to look for an app call. Roll call here. And we'll just do it the easier way. How about that? We'll just do roll call. There we go. And so this is a free service here that add-on. I'm going to click on free. It's going to tell me that I need to access these different pieces. Again, Google has vetted them. And pretty quickly you're going to see something show up here that roll call has now been added. So here's what roll call will do, is it will actually allow you to, or it will go in and look at your data, for example, your headings here, and it will allow you to sort based on different criteria within one of your headings. So for this example, I'm going to take this position here. So I want to know what paraeducators are saying, counselors are saying, specialists are saying, as well as 9, 12, and K-5 teachers. So what roll call will do is it will take this sheet down here on the bottom, and it will actually insert several sheets based on the categories found within this column here. So we're just going to go to add-ons. I'm going to come down, I'm going to go to roll call, and I'm going to say start. Now the first time, nope, so it's not going to ask me, so it says, okay, what column do I want to use? So notice that I have all these different columns here I can sort on. I indicated that I was going to use position. It's going to say, okay, what if I have other data that comes in later? Well, I can automatically update the sheets, so it's going to do that. So if I have a form that's being used continuously into the future, I'm going to go ahead and let it automatically update. And then I want you to watch down here on the bottom what Google Add-ons does. Click on Sort and Update. It's going to take and it's going to think about that, and you notice how it's adding those different tabs under there based on that position category that I selected here. So when I'm done, or when roll call's done, what it will do is it will take all 366 of those entries, and it will put it into whatever category it falls into based on what they answered. So it's just going to churn and burn for a little bit, and once it's done, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at that data and go from there. So it takes a little bit, especially if you have a lot of data, to go through and sort that. And I'm going to pause this recording, and then once it's done, we'll come back. So what you see now is that I have all these different tabs that are showing up here. Now, I probably, when I go back through this data, one of the things you're going to see here is that some of these individuals fall into more than one position. So when roll call took and categorized everything based on this column, said, well, this person falls into 2 of these. And so if I come here and I can look, I'm seeing somebody who falls in. How about special ed directors? I got 1 person there. I have 2 people here. But really, again, the power of this, I'm going to close this panel here. The power of this particular roll call piece is that I can sort these according to the different categories. Now, here's the other thing to remember, that sometimes when you set up your form, you need to know what you want to do with your data. So understanding some of these add-ons and what they can do will really help you as a teacher to figure out what exactly you want to do with the data. So let's come back up here into add-ons here, and let's go back and look at some of these other add-ons that are in here. There's some really powerful ones, and some simple ones too as well. So for example, this one, I used this one before, this split names. Basically, if you've created a form and your form has taken and collected the first and last name in one cell, well, what I can do is I can split those names into 2. So for example, I may want to sort by the last name. But if my name is Jeff and Cruz, and it's all in one cell, it's going to sort by that J first. So I can use this to just simply split that name into two different columns. And so really powerful add-ons within Google Sheets here that are worth exploring. So for your next assignment you're going to take, and you're going to look through some of these and select one that, or a couple of these that you think would be helpful for you as a teacher. Let's take a look at some sample data, and I want to show you how that split values or split names works. And so you see I have some sample data here where I have a first and last name for the individuals as well as email. So again, let's say that I want to take it, I want to sort this by last name. It's hard to do that using the first and last name here in one cell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select this cell right here, come to Add-ons, Split Names, and we're going to go ahead and click on Start. It's going to work through it. It's going to say, okay, I want to add a column here, so this is a trial version, yeah. So I want to take and do a add columns first name and last name. I'm going to go ahead and select my column has a header. And so what you're going to notice now, because I selected this column, it knows which one I want. I'm going to add a first and last name. It's going to look for a split in those names. I'm going to click on split. And again, what you'll notice is that that's gone ahead. You've just split 223 names, first and last. So super easy way to take and change. We can do that with formulas, but again, add-ons basically have written formulas into this little script, so we don't have to do that anymore. So here's what I recommend you do. Go out and check out some of the add-ons, find some things that might work for you. So some of you get duplicate data. This is really handy. You can do things, for example, like merge different values, so similar to what we just did, except the opposite. Finding and replacing. There's some really powerful pieces here that are super fun to use. I'm going to show you one more that I really like. I can turn this sheet right here into a set of flashcards. This is called Flippity, and we use this when we give away prizes at conferences. So it basically allows us to do a random name picker. So I'm going to click on free. Again, it takes me through this. I'm going to say, yep, advanced. If it gives you that, go to Flippity, and then we're going to go ahead and do that. Now again, we've used this many times. We haven't had any issues with it. So we've now just taken and added Flippity to our add-ons. I'm going to come down here. We're going to go ahead and pick a template. It's going to ask us what we want, and we're going to say we want a random name picker. So we're going to click through these right here, and certificate. So look at all of the things you can do inside of here. And just powerful way, again, to take data that you've collected from other places. And there it is. We want to use this Flippity random name picker. So we're going to go ahead and click on use, and it's going to build a template for us. You notice what it does. Comes in. Okay, we can publish this, or we can actually go right to here. And it's going to open this up, and now, oh, bummer, loading the spreadsheet. So for some reason, it's not allowing us to do that, but it's super powerful what we can do with this data here. So, and sometimes you run into those issues. I wanted to make sure you saw that as an issue sometimes, and we might just be able to go back through and rerun it. Flippity, enable, oops, there we are, and we're going to go to the URL again, working, and important, you must go to File first and Publish to the web. So if we click on this, we go to File first, and we say Publish to the web. It's going to say yes, we allow that to happen. And now if we go back into this Flippity add-on here, we should be able to connect to this URL, click on this, and now we've got this random name picker here, right? So if we click on this, it's going to spin, and it's going to give us a name here. So super easy to use. Again, I recommend you go through these different add-ons and check them out. For those of you that are math teachers, there's some great math ones in there as well that help you put equations in to spreadsheets. So go in, check it out, and hope you find something that you can use.